2025 has been a groundbreaking year in our exploration of Mars. From signs of ancient microbial life to the discovery of subsurface water, scientists are closer than ever to answering the ultimate question: was there ever life on the Red Planet? In this video, we're going to explore the most exciting Mars discoveries of the year and what they mean for the future of humanity. Let's start with what might be the biggest headline of all. In March 2025, NASA's Perseverance rover detected organic molecules in Jezero crater that are far more complex than anything previously found on Mars. These molecules are chains of carbon and hydrogen that are considered basic building blocks of life. What shocked researchers is the structure. Some of these molecules resemble those found in ancient microbial fossils on Earth. Now, to be clear, this is not proof of life, but it's one of the strongest indications yet that Mars may have once hosted microbial ecosystems billions of years ago when the planet was wetter and warmer. Speaking of water, another massive discovery came in April 2025 when the ESA's ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter confirmed the presence of a subsurface ice sheet just below the Martian equator. Previously, water ice was thought to exist only near the poles. But now, radar and thermal imaging suggest there's a buried reservoir stretching for hundreds of kilometers, just meters below the dusty surface. This is game-changing, not only for our understanding of Martian climate history, but for future astronauts who will need a local source of water to survive and sustain a base. Next up is the red Mars dust mystery. For decades, scientists have been baffled by seasonal dust storms that rise suddenly and circle the entire planet. In 2025, the Mars Environmental Dynamics Analyzer on board Perseverance finally cracked part of the mystery. It turns out that temperature differences between deep craters and highland plains trigger intense vertical winds, lifting dust miles into the air. As sunlight hits these particles, it creates a runaway heating effect that supercharges the storms. Understanding this process is crucial if we want to build long-term habitats on Mars that can survive the extreme environment. Let's move to something a bit more mind-blowing: seismic activity. Mars used to be considered a geologically dead planet, but in 2025, the InSight lander recorded the strongest marsquake ever detected, magnitude 5.3, originating near the Cerberus Fossae region. What's more, the seismic wave patterns revealed that Mars still has a partially molten mantle. This is a major clue about the planet's internal structure and its volcanic past. It suggests Mars might not be as dormant as we thought. And if Mars is still geologically active, that could create habitats deep underground, where life might still exist today. Let's talk atmosphere. In May 2025, the MOXIE instrument, a small experimental device aboard Perseverance, achieved something historic. It successfully extracted oxygen from the Martian atmosphere for over 12 hours continuously. This is the longest and most efficient oxygen production yet from carbon dioxide on Mars. MOXIE produced enough breathable air for one astronaut to survive for nearly a day. Now, engineers are planning to scale this technology into a full-sized life support system for future crewed missions. Imagine a machine the size of a refrigerator producing oxygen on demand. That's no longer science fiction. But we're not just looking for life on Mars. We're also thinking about terraforming. In 2025, NASA and MIT scientists published the results of an experiment involving aerogel domes. These translucent materials can trap heat and block UV radiation. When placed over the Martian surface, they can raise temperatures underneath by nearly 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius. This means we could one day grow plants directly in Martian soil under protected biodomes. The experiment worked in the Atacama Desert in Chile, and simulations on Mars-like soil conditions were extremely promising. Now let's zoom out for a second. In 2025, a private company, SpaceX, launched the first cargo-only Starship flight that successfully delivered over 50 tons of equipment near the Arcadia Planitia region. This included habitat modules, solar arrays, and even 2 robotic rovers designed to scout safe landing sites for human crews in the late 2020s. This marks the beginning of real infrastructure deployment for a human Mars base. And it's not just talk anymore. it's physically there. In fact, one of the rovers, called Pathfinder 2, discovered unusual magnetic anomalies in the crust, regions where the Martian crust is more magnetized than expected. This could mean that some parts of Mars still preserve records of its ancient magnetic field, which once protected the planet from solar radiation. Studying these areas could give us more insight into how Mars lost its atmosphere, and whether that process could happen to Earth in the distant future. Meanwhile, China's Tian-1-2 mission continues to send back stunning images and data from the Utopia Planitia region. In June 2025, it detected clay minerals that can only form in the presence of water over long periods. This strongly suggests that ancient lakes or even shallow seas once covered parts of Mars for thousands, maybe millions of years. The more we look, the more Mars begins to look like a planet that was once in many ways like Earth. Let's not forget about Mars' moons. Phobos and Deimos, once thought to be captured asteroids, are now the subject of intense interest. In 2025, Japan's MMX mission conducted a flyby of Phobos and discovered that its surface contains material ejected from Mars itself, launched during massive asteroid impacts. This means Phobos might hold ancient Martian rocks that are better preserved than what we can find on the surface of Mars today. The MMX mission will try to land, collect samples, and return them to Earth by 2029. It's like getting a time capsule from ancient Mars without even touching down on the planet. And finally, let's talk about Mars sample return. The biggest mission of the decade is officially underway. In 2025, NASA and ESA began preparing for the next phase, sending a lander and a mini rocket to pick up the sealed sample tubes Perseverance has been collecting. These samples include sediment from ancient riverbeds, rock cores from crater rims, and even bits of dust containing organic molecules. Once these are back on Earth, they'll be analyzed using the most advanced instruments available, far beyond what we could ever send to Mars. Scientists believe this mission will finally answer the question, did life ever exist on Mars? If even one microbial fossil is discovered, it would change science and humanity forever. Mars is no longer a distant dream. It's a real, dynamic world, and we're uncovering its secrets faster than ever. With every rover drill, every lander seismic reading, and every sample tube collected, we're rewriting what we know about the Red Planet. And as we stand at the edge of sending humans to Mars, one thing is clear. The greatest discoveries may still lie ahead. Thanks for watching. If you're fascinated by Mars and want to stay updated on everything space-related, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a launch, a landing, or a mind-blowing discovery. Until next time, keep looking up.